We're watching films on the toilet, because that's what dads have to do. When the movie's unsuitable for your kids, then pretend you need a number two. If you need a break from your family or spouse, there's a lavatorial picture house. Watch Terminator 2 while you're sitting on the loo. Enjoy the whole of Rambo 4 with your trousers on the floor. We're watching films on the toilet. How about you?
Oh, I'm glowing.
Back to the noises. You sound like that, the underwater fella who falls in love with that woman who can't speak. Yeah. What was your favourite bit in that film?
I know what yours was. I like all the gory monster attacks. What was your favourite bit of that film, Eamonn?
The bit where she off in the bath.
Well, welcome to Watching Films on the Toilet.
This is a podcast about two dads with young kids. We love films, but mainly films for grown-ups, so our kids can't watch them. So the only time we can watch them, sort of sneakily in the toilet, usually in sort of chunked up bits.
We're underwater this week, aren't we?
That's amazing how you do that. That's good.
Oh, thanks. That's all I wanted. I just wanted you to say, oh, that's good. I can move on. Why didn't you just say that?
Is that the key? Anytime you do something annoying, if I just pay you a compliment, will you then sort of move on?
Yeah. Why else would I do something annoying other than to get attention in any form, preferably positive?
Yeah, no, that's true. Ben, you've got a lovely face.
Thanks. Okay. So this week we are going to be talking about No Time to Die.
Oh.
The Bond one. What came out recent, like.
Yeah.
And it's done all the money. It's done all the money, hasn't it?
It has.
It's done 16 money.
That's loads.
I know. They said, how much did my movie gross at the box office? And they said, it's done 16 money, boss. Ay, ay, ay. That's what they say, isn't it? Good. So, yeah, and we're going to be talking about Bond with a massive Bond fan, Mr. Alex Robson. He hosts his own podcast about the amazing animated Spider-Man series with his brother and runs a lovely pizza stall, I suppose you could call it. Penny's Pizza. And he's a great dude. So we're going to be speaking to him later, which I'm very much looking forward to.
Same. First of all, got a bit of correspondence.
Oh!
So this is in relation to something you were talking about last episode, Ben.
Oh, right.
Okay, so let me just read this email. Hello, I'm writing to tell you that I made an ash wife, like the one that Ben talked about last week.
I knew it.
My wife had an affair with a short man, so I burned his house down and used the ashes to make a new wife. I know this sounds stupid and dumb, but it did happen, and I am real.
Yeah.
My wife then carried the ashen effigy of a new wife whilst market traders threw vegetables at her. As per the law, she then ate it and jumped into the River Thames. It sounds ludicrous, the kind of thing an idiot might make up, but once again, just to be clear, this really happened. Yours sincerely, A Man.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I know him.
Well, I take it all back.
I was right.
You are right. I look like quite the Christmas ham now.
You're like a right idiot. Oh, it doesn't exist. It's silly. Oh. Well, now you know.
Oh, now I look silly.
Good. Okay. All right. Toilet news, Eamonn.
Bit of toilet news here. Yeah, okay. Japanese hospital accidentally used toilet water for drinking for almost 30 years after the pipes were wrongly connected.
30?
Osaka University Hospital discovered water pipes were connected to the toilet.
Right.
Hospital staff had been using the water for drinking, washing and gargling.
And gargling. Oh.
Gargling, yeah. Jeez.
Wow. Hang on. So that must be the water that, when you flush, the water that comes into the cistern. Not the flush.
The bowl water.
Yeah, not the bowl water.
Because you would notice like a big coming out of your tap, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I think you noticed that, yeah. Just in case I need an explanation to that, that was someone gargling and then finding that there was poop in the gargle water. That's probably what it would sound like. All right, good.
Right. Should we chat with this guy then?
Should we talk to him?
Yeah, get on.
All right, let's do it. Hello, Alex.
Yes?
Can you let us in to your toilet, please?
Well, I'm not finished.
Don't care, let us in.
Yeah, it's not a problem.
All right, let me just hide the magazines because I'm old-fashioned like that. Hang on. All right, okay.
Hey! Oh, well, there are a lot of magazines.
Sorry, yeah.
Stacked floor to ceiling.
It's like the library books in Ghostbusters, but with really old pornography. Alex Robson, thank you so much for having us in your toilet today.
Thank you for coming, guys. I'm sorry it's not big enough.
It's kind of tight.
Ben usually sits on my lap when we do this.
That's true. Sit down, I'll get on. Thank you. Lovely. The man behind the now notorious Penny's Pizza, smashing out pizzas across London, and co-host of Spider-Man, the animated series podcast with your brother, Will. So thank you so much again for having us in your toilet.
Thank you. I'm sorry there's no pizza here.
There's some crusts, but they look cold. Today we are talking about the latest James Bond film, No Time to Die.
Yeah, and it took its sweet time coming out, didn't it?
It did. Nearly died, but thankfully it didn't. I can't play it. I can't continue with the metaphor there.
And I'm for everyone listening, even though I do a Spider-Man podcast, I am a massive James Bond fan.
Cool. Well, look, we're going to get onto the new one, but before we do that, Alex, how did you watch this movie, No Time to Die? How did you see it?
Well, am I supposed to lie and say I watched it on the toilet?
Well, that's up to you.
You can cut that bit out and be like, I watched it on the toilet. I can give you another soundbite, which is like, I watched it in the cinema like everyone else.
We take an awful lot of artistic license with pretty much everything we say. We're not even mates.
No, even our opinions on the films, nothing we've said we agree with.
I often say things that just outright lies. I just can't be bothered.
Eamonn loved Many Saints of Newark.
To be fair, this film is so long, I think you do have to watch it on the toilet at points, because this film is a long film.
But you went to a special premiere, didn't you?
I did, yes.
Yeah.
Because, again, I'm a big nerd. And there's a podcast I listen to actually called James Bond Radio, which is a really popular podcast.
Right.
These two guys are awesome. So they hosted a big gathering, and I went to Leicester Square for the it was like the soft premiere, because the big one was at Royal Albert.
Yeah.
I saw it there, which was cool. And then I've seen it 3 more times.
Oh, wow.
Hey-o!
Yeah, again, this has been 6 years in the making, so but I still see them. I see them a lot because I really enjoy the franchise, so I soak it all up, and I like to go to the cinema and get that experience with that film, because I never will again once it's out of the cinemas.
Absolutely. It'll be all small, won't it? It'll be all small.
Yeah.
Eamonn, how did you watch No Time to Die?
I illegally downloaded it and watched it really small on the toilet.
Well, you would.
Of course I did. I'm a fucking geezer, aren't I?
Yeah.
Everyone says so.
Yeah, I mean, you are notoriously a geese, actually.
I am.
Eamonn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
He's got the straightest face when he says it.
Yes.
Well, I am a geese. I don't know why you're laughing.
All right, you're a geese. Jesus Christ, you're a geese. Can we move on? Whew, I'm not saying you're not a geese. I went to that cinema. I'm going to give away the secret. It's the cinema I found in Hackney, where I drilled a hole in the toilet cubicle wall, and it's next to the screening room, so I was able to watch it through the hole in the wall.
Why only one hole when you've got 2 eyes?
It's a good point. I could drill another one, couldn't I? I hadn't thought of that.
It's like Gromit. He cuts out the cardboard box.
It is. I'm a lot like Gromit. Eamon's a geese, and I'm like a plasticine dog. Anyway, on the show, we like to do something called the Summary, which is me summing up the film in the time it takes an average man to do a long morning wee. So this week, have you had a drink for me? Have you had a big drink that gave you a big long wee time?
So I started on Vodka Martinis, classic.
Nice.
Smart. But after having 2 of them, they were so strong, I just replaced the gin with water. So I had another 6, but they were watered down big time.
Good call.
Yeah. So I had a very long and painful wee. Very dehydrated. I mean, it was like a dark yellow. It was scary.
Like a jelly.
Yeah, so I don't think you're ready for this, Jelly, but it was a 60-second wee.
Nice.
Oh my goodness. Oh, right. There's quite a lot of story to cover in this.
You ready?
Okay, ready?
3, 2, 1, go.
So, Bond is happily retired and spending some quality time with his girlfriend, Dr. Swan. Unfortunately, Spectre ambushed Bond, and he thinks old Swan must have betrayed him like his ex-girlfriend Vesper did. So, he puts her on a train and says goodbye. 5 years later, he's still retired and hanging out in Jamaica, fishing and drinking and that. Meanwhile, in London, a bioweapon that infects people by targeting their DNA is stolen by bad men. And Bond's pal Felix asked him if he'll help the CIA get it back. He says no, but then the new 007, Naomi, comes along and tells him he's not to get involved, so he does, cheeky. Lots of bad people die, and then Bond goes back to London to hang out with Q and Moneypenny. Turns out his old boss M developed the virus for good, but then some people stole it for bad. M makes Bond 007 again, and he heads to a maximum security prison to see his arch-enemy Christopher Waltz, because all the supervillains know each other's supervillain business. But Bond ends up infecting him with a bioweapon and he dies. Bond figures out that the virus was transmitted by his ex-girlfriend, Dr. Swan, and goes to her home in Norway where she's hiding a cute 5-year-old girl who definitely isn't Bond's daughter. They're captured by Safin, who's been using this bioweapon to kill Spectre because they weren't very nice to him. Bond tracks Safin down to a poisonous nanobot factory on an island somewhere. There's lots of shooting. Bond opens a big door, and he's about to leave when Safin infects him with the DNA virus, which has been programmed to infect Dr. Swan and her daughter. Bond's daughter. Oh no. Knowing he can never go near her again, Bond stays behind on the island to open the big door again. Then he's blown up by a load of missiles. Yes, Bond is dead. Then all his pals read poetry and get hammered. The end.
Oh.
How'd they do?
Absolutely terrible.
Oh God.
Absolute rubbish.
How long was that?
1:29.
That's 150% of the time.
Right, stop the recording. You can do it again.
Okay, let's start. Now, you are a big Bond fan. Is Bond still relevant, is my question.
Oh, what a question.
There we go. Let's
Not
start.
like, what did you think of the film?
No.
Is this is this franchise you've loved and followed since you were 8 years old relevant anymore?
Well, the thing is, some people would... He's been described as a murderous toff.
A misogynistic dinosaur?
Yeah, exactly. So, is he still relevant? I mean, he's very popular, so there must be something there. What is it? What is it, Alex?
I think he's still relevant. I mean, granted, being a spy in today's world, the last 5 films that Craig has done, there's always been is a 007 really necessary anymore? You know, the kind of like, we got satellites, we got people on computers that can do what you can do in 5 minutes. But I think that they try and touch on that with Spectre, where M says, "Have you ever killed a man?" to I can't remember his name, the bad guy from the Sherlock series, and he said, you got to make a decision to pull the trigger. You've got to be in the room.
Yeah.
You've got to be there. And I think that's a very good point. You need a man on the ground to make those decisions that you might not be able to make on a computer. So, in a very long-winded response, yes, I think he's still relevant.
Okay, no, you've convinced me. I feel like Daniel Craig made him relevant for now. I think his performance and his version of the character, he was like, just the look of him, he looks like a military guy. And he's tortured. I mean, Bond's a killer, no doubt, but I think Bond has to be right now. He can't just be a suave, quite posh Pierce Brosnan dude that's just killing people and then just, whatever, I'm going to go and bang this woman. There has to be an element of...
That's how he used to say it.
Of reflection about it, I think. And he's Daniel Craig, he's not happy, is he? He's not happy Bond.
No,
and he never will be. And I guess that's Bond. What do you think, Eamonn?
It's interesting. It feels like it should be relevant because, like, Russia and China seem to be more of a threat than ever. But you can't make them, especially China, the bad guys in your films because they represent a huge part of your potential audience.
That's true. Yeah.
All these kind of like things like Spectre, they don't really exist. I think the closest we get to that would be something like the Mafia.
Or the Murdochs.
I wonder if things will swing the other way now. We've had this kind of like brooding Bond. For me, I think he's too ugly to be Bond.
It's so funny. People are either a Craig lover or a Craig hater as far as his look.
Well, there's his look, but there's also his demeanour. And I know what you mean, Ben, about him sort of adding seriousness. But Jerry Seinfeld made a really good observation, which is like, you have a license to kill. You can sleep with any woman you want. How about a smile?
Why isn't he just grateful for what he has?
It is like wish fulfillment, isn't it, essentially? We're seeing a guy do all the cool things we wish we could do. And with Roger Moore and Pierce Brosnan, there was a certain amount of like, I can't believe I just did that. Whereas with Daniel Craig, it's just like, oh, God, what now? Oh,
yeah.
Well, I have to drive an Aston Martin again. Fuck's sake.
Was that one of Roger Moore's lines? I can't believe I just did that. And he just walked off.
That's the sex scenes, usually.
That.
I know what you mean. And, I mean, the Bond genre as a whole, I feel like, or the film series, should I say, I feel like it has so many different types of genres in it. So if you're in the mood for a comedy, you're going to watch a Rog film, right? Especially the later Rog films. If you want more like Fleming material and kind of more harder, grittier, you're going to go for a Dalton or a Craig. If you just want to be the coolest and see the coolest motherfucker in the world, you're going to watch a Sean Connery, you're going to watch a Pierce Brosnan.
Tell you what, Alex, I'm going to describe some situations to you, and you prescribe me the best Bond film to watch. Okay. Just caught my wife just about to kiss the milkman, and my trousers fall down in front of him, so I can't give him a piece of my mind with any real credibility. What should I watch after that?
Was this a dream you had?
My friend's wife was at the door, and my friend's trousers fell down.
I would tell you to watch The Living Daylights, because there's a bloke who throws milk bottles full of grenades in that movie and explodes the entire house. So there you go.
Amazing. Okay, I've been on a trawler for a long weekend, and I had a fight with a skipper over which is how much cod we should land.
These are batshit. He's not normally like this.
Don't throw me off. I've been on a trawler.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I would say if you're talking ships and captains, go for something like Dr. No, which is based in Jamaica, and you've got Quarrel, who's leading him to Dr. No's island, and there's lots of ocean views and sea fishing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Final one. My best mate is an absolute head. That's it. He's a f***ing He's always going on about his massive house. That's the scenario.
Who's he?
No, just pick that out of the air, that one.
Sounds like an idiot.
I would say Goldeneye, because they were mates, and then 006 turned bad, and then they were never.
Man,
that is outstanding. That's honestly,
that is incredible.
That is incredible.
How you managed to hang on for dear life, that is astounding.
Can I just talk about how I hate how they killed James Bond?
Yeah,
Go for it, man.
definitely.
So yeah, as a Bond fan, I'm like soaking this all in. I'm like, okay, I don't like that, but I like this. I don't like that. But then to kill James Bond, it was like someone just pulled down my trousers and showed the milkman, you know, like, and said, look how tiny his dick is, because
Great analogy there.
I mean, the size thing was not a part of mine. I don't know where that came from.
But yeah, I was so in shock, and I saw it with a bunch of Bond fans, and there's one guy next to me, and he just went off at the end of the film. He's just like, I'm never watching another James Bond film ever again in my life. And he had his arms crossed. He was all grumpy like this.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I can't. Why would you do that? And you've just destroyed James Bond and everything he stood for. So I had that as my first reaction. And I've had loads of conversations. I've seen the film a bunch of times, and I went from I don't think I like this to actually this is a masterpiece to then actually this is actually just a pretty decent film.
What did you think, old Ben? What did you think about James Bond dying?
It worked for me. It hit it resonated for its nearly 3-hour runtime. It went by. I thought they really made a great use of the time. It didn't feel overlong. And yeah, when it all built towards that ending, it really worked for me. I thought it was quite a shock, but I felt quite emotional, and I felt like it was a great end to Daniel Craig's arc. What did you think, Eamon?
Didn't care either way.
There it is. Okay. All right. Next question. Brilliant. Okay. So they apparently, you talked about one of the stunts, which was awesome, was that bike stunt at the beginning.
Yes.
We jump over the bridge. Apparently, they covered the streets in Coca-Cola because it made the street sticky, so that the bike would obviously have some grip when it hit that wall. Have you guys ever spilled anything? Have you ever had an embarrassing spillage that you can recall?
What a segue that is.
Thank you.
I've got one.
You got one?
I've got one. Happened today.
Whoa!
So I've recently just gotten clumsier and clumsier. Today, I was just making my girlfriend some breakfast, and I was grabbing stuff out the fridge, doing my thing, and there is a pot of double cream in the fridge.
Oh.
And I don't know how it happened. I actually legitimately, I either blacked out or there was a ghost in my fridge. Like Zool chucked the double cream on the floor. Like just the double cream went out, and I went like this, and it hit the floor, and it just exploded. I mean,
oh god!
And it has like a sealed top on it, but that just went. And not only did it go over the floor and all over me, but there was a laundry basket, and all that cream went in the laundry, and it was a lot of my girlfriend's stuff that like you can't just chuck in the wash and clean quickly. And it also went all underneath the fridge, which is very heavy, and I just was on my hands and knees for about 30 minutes
Bad times.
cleaning this up. So that happened to me today, and it was awful.
Wow.
That's so weird that I should ask that question.
I know.
How bizarre. So I had a sort of a spillage story, and I was very young, and I was in queue at Disney World in Florida, and I had a bottle of Gatorade. It was like luminous orange stuff, and I was flicking the bottle up in the air and catching it in my hand, and I was getting quite good at it. And in front of us, in this very long queue for a ride, was a man who was dressed in all white, like tennis whites. He looked like not a Bond villain, but the middleman who gets killed. And I was throwing the bottle, and my mum said, "Stop." I was like, no, it's fine. And anyway, the lid came off, and a trail of orange liquid just went all the way up his back. Like it looked like a stripe, a bright orange stripe on his shirt. And he didn't turn round, so I'm not sure if it was very hot. I don't know if he felt it or not, but we had to stand behind this guy for 45 minutes just waiting for one of his family members to see his back. And thankfully it never happened, but my mum and dad, they were just like glaring at me for the whole time.
I have one.
Oh good, yeah.
So years ago I was in a television centre. I had a very lowly role, and I had a big tray of coffee, and there was this central sort of area where all the lifts were. It was really near stage door, it's called, where all the people used to come in. I'd called one of the lifts, and then I got to the front of it, and I don't know, someone might have jostled me or anything, but I basically tipped the whole tray of coffees into this lift floor, full of people, by the way. So they just saw the doors open, me just look at them, throw a tray of coffees in, look at it, and then the doors closed again, and then they went up.
Wow, man, I'm glad I asked that question.
Actually yielded some great results.
Great content. That's good.
I mean, I would be listening to this endlessly if I wanted to tune into people talking about James Bond, and I skipped ahead and I heard them talking about.
What about Bond? What about Bond?
This guy's talking about cream under his fridge.
Anyway, okay, a more relevant question. If you had a license to kill for a day, who would you kill first? There you go. You can see how I got to that one. Eamon, who would you kill?
Usual suspects. Josh Widdicombe. Straight
Josh
off the bat.
Widdicombe, right. Okay.
Oh, God, please don't kill me. Shut it, Widdicombe. I can do this legally.
Yeah.
Probably David Mitchell.
Yes, I know you don't like him.
Who else? And James Corden. Just the three.
You killed it. Even though we know James Corden has a purpose now, you'd still kill him.
Yeah, it'd be worth it.
Fair
It'd be
enough.
like eating all your sweets in one go. You know you shouldn't do it. Sod it.
But you
do
do
it
it.
anyway.
We do it anyway.
But also, listen,
No, that's true.
That's actually 3 white cis males that I've killed. So you're welcome.
Don't make me balance this out.
Go on, then, with your list comprised solely of black women.
Oh god. Well, it's funny you should mention that. No, no. Who would I hadn't actually thought of an answer to this question. I just thought I'd ask it. Who'd I kill? Probably Liam Payne from One Direction. Can't stand that guy. He's definitely easily the worst One Direction. And he broke Cheryl's heart. So yeah, Liam
Solid.
Payne. Don't like his face. Never liked his face.
I would probably kill every single YouTuber that thinks they're like the funniest person in the world. Every time I watch like some popular YouTube channel, they're like, "Welcome to my show, and I want to tell you all about this thing," and I'm yelling and I'm going louder and louder as I talk about this crazy show. Welcome to my show, and you're like, "Oh God, dead, all of you." Just in a line, one bullet that's going to just go through all of you.
Oh,
Serious answer? My ex-wife. There we go.
perfect. Good. Both great.
So can I
Bang.
change my answer?
Yeah.
I would kill Sir David Attenborough. Why not?
Excellent.
Throw the cat amongst the
Okay.
pigeons. People won't be expecting that. Everyone knows he's going to die soon. But imagine if someone like blew him up. I'd give him one of those compressed air bullets, make him swallow it.
Yeah.
You know, like Yaphet Kotto. So he blows up to a big balloon. It'd be like the most kind of undignified death for a national treasure. Do it live in the Albert Hall. Force feed him a load of those bullets. And boot him up the arse, and he goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. What we
That's
haven't spoken about as well is how confusing the villain's plot is and how lame Sappy
He
is.
is
as a
lame.
villain.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned it because he was really lame.
He was a big old like Mr. Softy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
It was like he had all these villain pieces. Scarred face.
Yeah.
Poison Island.
Yeah.
Parents weren't very nice to him. But they didn't come together.
No.
They really didn't.
What's the producer's weird obsession with like facial disfigurement?
Well, that's Fleming. That's big
Is
time
it?
Fleming. That is. Yeah. All of his villains had something wrong with them. Blofeld having earlobes that connected to his cheeks. The villain in Spy Who Loved Me had webbed hands.
What would your facial disfigurement be if you were a Bond villain? What would you choose?
The robot eye, I thought, was a cool idea.
What would you have? Like a robot robot junk or
But it's facial, you said.
Robot junk on your face, yeah.
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 Are you saying he's got junk on his face? It's worse than that, I'm afraid. It's robot junk.
Eamon, what would yours be?
I'd have a couple of mouths. One mouth would only tell truth, and the other mouth would be like giving it all that.
But do you think that the mouths would change so you'd never know who's telling you the truth and who's telling you a lie?
I'd be completely honest with you, Alex. I've not given it that much thought.
Well, now I'm thinking about it, and it's like, you look beautiful, darling. It's like, which mouth did that come out
The
of?
lying mouth. name of the film, The Lying Mouth.
The next Bond, the lying mouth. Blood Tears were quite cool, weren't they? With
Yeah,
from Mads,
yeah.
but then Mads is cool, so you can
Yeah,
pull it off.
he's my favourite Bond villain.
Yeah, he's great, isn't he?
Yeah,
he was really good.
Casino is just, as we just briefly mentioned, Casino Royale is my favourite Bond film.
Is it?
Yeah,
It just ticks all the boxes. It's fantastic, and it's just
that opening scene
amazing.
is up there with the greatest action sequences of all time, I would say.
Yeah.
Do you like the bit where
Yeah, that's cool.
he's tied to a chair and they hit his balls with a big rope?
That's usually what I do with my Friday nights with my girlfriend.
Yeah. I think I'd have like loads of teeth growing out of my face, but all over. So I'd be Toothface.
Toothpaste.
Yeah? How about that?
Sounds like a Batman villain.
Yeah, tooth. Yeah, maybe only half of my face would be teeth.
Yeah.
Sir, are you facing Two-Face tonight? No, Alfred, it's Toothface.
Hey, Toothface. Sorry, that was the Bale Bond. The Bale Batman, not the Bale Bond.
Bail Bond would be amazing. My question is, because I love asking this question to people, where do you want to see the Bond franchise go now?
I've got a take on it. So the next Bond is set in the early 80s. Rylan Clark, you know Rylan from telly?
Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about. Oh,
Yeah.
off there.
No, so he's not Bond, okay? He's not Bond. So it's the early 80s. Rylan, so he plays the flamboyant owner of a pharmaceutical company, okay,
Right.
who managed to develop a cure for AIDS, right? But the government feel that the panic surrounding the whole AIDS thing, the virus, will be useful for the re-election of Margaret Thatcher in 1983. So they send Bond to take out Rylan. Bond is this kind of stone cold killer who we barely talks, and he is played by a guy called Mark Bonner, who is a Scottish actor who has grey hair. He's in a show called Guilt, and he was in Catastrophe, and he does the psycho thing very well. And that is the next Bond film. There you go.
I'll be flocking to the cinemas for that one.
I know, right? Eamon?
So, I mean, this won't go down well, but I would just leave it as it is. I would just say, well done. We've wrapped it up. You're welcome.
James Bond won't return.
He's dead now. Didn't you see? Or if I did do something, it would be like so arch. Or if he was like a caveman. Can we do James Bond as a caveman? And like Q would be like, what have you got for me this week, Q? And he'd be like, look, a wheel. And he'd go, oh.
Alex, where are you taking it?
Well, I mean, I'm going to give my proper serious answer, aren't I?
You should.
Which just feels like I've kind of let everyone down now.
I want to know who the next Bond is. Who is it? Come on. Who is it?
I think they hopefully what I want them to do is to go with an unknown. Craig wasn't that well known. He was in like a handful of films you could probably name, like Layer Cake or Munich, things like that. And same with Pierce. I mean, he did
Remington Steele.
Remington Steele, yeah, which was very Bond.
Remington Steele.
But he was supposed to be Bond when Dalton was Bond. So after Rog, they wanted Pierce, but Pierce couldn't get out of his Remington Steele contract. So they went with Dalton, and then Dalton did 2 films and then buggered off, and they're like, Pierce, you're free? And he's just like, yeah, let's do this.
Let's drive this into the ground.
Yeah, exactly. But besides like Mrs. Doubtfire and Remington Steele, again, where do you know Pierce Brosnan from, you know?
Yeah.
He did like Dante's Peak and stuff after Bond.
I wish Mrs. Doubtfire had been the villain in the last Pierce Brosnan Bond film. Hello!
Yeah, James Bond dies with a drive-by fruiting.
Yeah, drive-by fruiting. That would be amazing.
So I would be happy with an unknown that just fits the bill. And not someone like, let's get Tom Hardy in this because people know Tom Hardy and it just doesn't work.
Oh, God. What accent would Tom Hardy be if he was bloody Bond? He'd put on some stupid voice, wouldn't he? He'd cover his mouth.
Oh, good evening, Moneypenny. How are you? That'd be amazing.
Yeah. James Bond! James Bond! Yeah, I think you're right, and I think people will be disappointed whatever the choice is, won't they? If it's someone we know.
Yeah.
So yeah, go with that. With the unknown. Cool. All right. Well, I guess it's time to decide what we're going to do with No Time to Die. Will it be No Time to Flush, or will it be No Time to Fish Out? Alex, as our guest, would you fish this out of the bowl, or would you flush it down the toilet?
I'm always going to fish a Bond film out. For the simple fact that even if you don't like Bond, this film is the only film that has killed James Bond.
Yes.
So
that's true. That's big, isn't it?
It's big. It's a big thing, and they'll be talking about this film for a long time, I think. So yeah, I'd fish it out.
Cool. Amen.
You go now. No, you go now.
No, I asked the question. You're next.
No, I always go. I always go first between us. You go.
No, I'm not going to go because I know what you're doing. So you need
There's so much you cut out, and you guys bicker, and I love it. And honestly, you must cut out so much bickering between you two.
Ben is probably like the only person I feel in any way remotely like comfortable bickering with.
Right.
Like pretty much everyone else, I feel like weird and awkward and just go, fine. Just out of politeness. Whereas with Ben, like I can probably.
You've done that like 5 times with me during this podcast. Is that what you're saying?
That's true. Well,
every time you've said some dumbass like opinion, I've been like, yeah, good one, Alex.
Yeah, James Bond, really cool. Yeah,
I love that film.
Yeah, James Bond. But Eamon, you've managed to skirt the question.
I believe it was your turn.
No, it's not. I asked the question.
Yeah. No, Ben does know why I'm doing this.
You don't want it to go in the tank of glory, do you?
That's right. I think I probably would fish this out because I would say every other, like if I were to watch every other James Bond now, I wouldn't fish any out. And the reason I would take this one out.
That hurts my soul so much.
I'm sorry, man.
Fish
it's nothing.
Any others out?
Maybe like, one of the Dr. No or whatever. The reason I would fish this one out is because it was like, holy shit, he has a daughter and he died.
Yeah.
Like that, we've never seen that before. It's like fine, and I in fairness, I was in one of the nice reclining seats, but I was dropping off in the cinema, mainly because I was just really tired.
I thought you were in the toilet. You watched it on a little screen, didn't you?
Did you?
Don't break the illusion.
You hear some proper bickering now, Alex.
Busted!
Don't blow my geese cover. First time a Bond has subverted my expectation in decades. So I probably. What was you going to say?
You've already said it. You've already said you'd fish it out.
Yeah, no, okay, I'd fish it out.
I would fish this out. I really enjoyed it. For nearly 3-hour movie, as I said, it flew by. It was a great story. And I like what it did with the Bond character. It made it feel fresh. And I thought Daniel Craig's performance was super. Didn't like the villain. He was weak. But I'm willing to forgive that. And if I'm willing to forgive that, it must have been pretty good.
Yeah, that. I almost flushed it because of the villain. The villain needs to be as strong as Bond, and his plot needs to be good. And he was not strong, and his plot made no sense. I didn't get it.
I know, like, somewhat camp villains is a part of, like, the James Bond world. But it'd be good to have, like, just a horrible, scary villain. Like, I always thought Seymour Hoffman in Mission Impossible was a great bad guy.
Yeah, he was.
Because he was just really no nonsense. He was just like, okay, you've crossed me, I'm going to kill your wife.
I like. He's like, do you have a girlfriend? I'm gonna find her. I'm gonna kill her.
That's a great impression, man. That's really good.
That's it. Anyway, that means that No Time to Die is going in the tank of glory.
Ooh.
So, our rule is we can't take out the last film we put in there, which was The Babadook. So we have 4 films to choose from that we can get rid of and replace with No Time to Die. And they are The Suicide Squad, Midnight Run, Seven, and Brawl in Cell Block 99. What's going?
Why don't you guide us, Alex? Why don't you give your... Which one would you take out? You already said
instantly I'd take out The Suicide Squad.
Out of all those. Have you seen Brawl in Cell Block 99?
No, I haven't. But I just know it won't be as bad as Suicide Squad.
Wow. Well, I don't feel like I can argue with that. And Eamon, have you got anything to add, or are we...
Yeah, no, I'll go with that.
Yeah, I don't agree with everything you said about Suicide Squad. I did like it. I did enjoy it. But I think out of those, yeah, it's going. So, No Time to Die is replacing The Suicide Squad in the Tanko Glory. All those floaters... Glorious floaters of gold. Terrific. All right, lads. Well... That was a super treat. Thank you, Alex, for allowing us into your bathroom stall.
I mean, it's very crowded. There's a smell in here that's been... I know you guys have smelt it. It's been around for at least an hour.
We didn't want to say anything. It's just impolite, isn't it? You invited us in.
I did pass out for a few minutes.
So we'll let you finish.
I've been holding it in this whole time.
We will now depart your bathroom stall. Take care, Alex, and we hope to join you again soon.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Thanks, Alex, for sharing your thoughts on Jimmy Bund,
Jimmy Bund.
as you kept on calling him for some reason.
Why did he? That was embarrassing. I didn't want to say anything.
Neither of us felt comfortable enough to correct you on it, but it's not. He's not called Jimmy Bund. He's called James Bond.
Yes, kept saying I'm a huge fan of Jimmy Bund. I'm a huge Jimmy Bund fan.
Yeah, it's not. He's not called that.
It does sound like it would work.
Yeah.
My name's Bund. Jimmy Bund.
I think it might be a better name than James Bond.
Bund. I like the word Bund. Oh, Mum, you gotta come down. I'm in a right bund down here. It works.
It does, yeah.
All right, good. So now it's time, as always, for the top 5 movies. The top 5 movies in which myself and Eamon will guess each other's top 5 on a particular theme. The person who gets the most correct guesses when we've had 3 goes each wins and gets to choose the next film that we'll watch, and the loser has to do a increasingly ridiculous forfeit.
Yeah. In some way related to the film that we watched.
Obviously.
Well, it's not obvious.
No, you're right, it's not. If you listen before, it is, but...
It's obvious, but yeah.
Yeah, but anyway. Oh, what a bund. What a bund.
We're a right pair of buns.
What a right pair of Jimmy Buns those two are, aren't they? So this week we are talking about our favourite franchises, our favourite movie franchises. There's a lot of
I
them.
don't know if you know this.
Go on.
Jimmy Bund is it's not just one of them. There's like 30. There's loads.
James Jimmy Bund.
James Jimmy Bond. So we're talking about franchises.
So, my first guess for you. The Alien franchise.
Yeah.
Yes! Yes.
So 1 and 2 are literally 2 of the best films ever made.
Yeah, no doubt.
3 is no good. 4 is rubbish.
Yeah.
Prometheus was a noble effort. Covenant was rubbish. So massively mixed. But if you have 2 of the greatest films of all time in the mix, I think that's why I chose it.
Even though the others have been trash, it still hasn't diminished the franchise. It's still
I still always live in hope.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. That was very close to my list.
Right, my turn. I'm going to say the Marvel franchise.
Yeah, I love the Marvel movies. Yeah, I saw The Eternals at the weekend.
That's had middling reviews.
It was fine. It was far too big. There was too much. But, saying that, I thought it was a decent movie. It just wasn't up there. And I think it shows what an incredible run of great films Marvel have had.
Yeah.
And how difficult that is. I really think people take it for granted. How difficult it is to make a good movie. So yeah, I love them.
Oh, good one. Okay, all right. Your choice.
Okay, I'm going to go with Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Hey!
Yeah, and that is for consistency. I've not watched them for a while, but I did go through a phase of just rewatching the extended editions just because they're just so well done, so classy and so slick.
Peregrine Took!
Yeah. Well done. Great impression, Ben.
Thank you. Does that mean you were annoyed by that?
Yes.
Why? That
right.
wasn't annoying. That was good. That was a good McKellen.
No, that was good. It is a good. It's a good impression.
Don't. You make it worse. Making it worse.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's stupid.
Thanks very much.
Thank.
Go on then. Thank.
Why did you say thank?
Thank very much.
I'm going to say the Mission Impossible.
Yes, and is that not a duplicate?
It's not, no.
Oh, you're an interesting chap today, aren't you? Yeah, I love those movies. And you love those movies as well.
I like them. I don't love them as much as you.
We got really excited going to see all those films.
I've not seen that many with you. I think I've seen 1 or 2 with you.
Yeah, but we were very excited.
I remember talking about fulcrumming a lot when we saw that one.
Yeah, we did. We got obsessed with fulcrumming, yeah.
You'll go.
Okay, double then. Toy Story.
No.
Oh, come on. What are you on about?
Again, I like Toy Story, but it's not my favourite Pixar film.
I'd say that's the most consistent franchise there is. There was not a dud Toy Story movie.
There wasn't, although 4 I felt was superfluous. You had the perfect 3 films. Why add another one on?
4 was great. They can because it was great. Choose another film.
All right. Terminator.
No.
Oh.
I love the first 2 movies, but after that...
Okay, that's duplicate.
Okay, well now we're in sudden death, aren't we? I'm going to say the Bourne movies.
Yes.
Yes!
Yeah, well done. That's what I chose instead of Mission Impossible. Okay, right. So if I don't get this, then you win. I'm going to say Batman.
Not Batman.
Oh. Okay, so you win.
And then
Tell us what you had.
Okay, so I had The Marvels, Toy Story, Star Wars.
Balls. I was going to...
I'm surprised you missed that.
No, I had it, but you kept on going about consistency, and there's like 2 of them are good.
I'd say 3 of them suck and the rest are good.
What? Hang on. What? The prequels?
They all suck. Yeah.
Yeah, so out of 11, there's like 2 that are good.
Oh, no, actually, yeah, you're right. But the others are really good, so it's fine.
Shit.
Then Jackass, Mission Impossible. What were yours?
So I had Terminator, Alien, Bourne, Lord of the Rings, and Mad Max.
Oh, okay. Mad Max, yeah. They're good movies.
Right, okay. So what's the next film then?
The next film, this is really exciting, Eamon, is going to be the new Ghostbusters movie.
Oh, please be good. Please be good.
Ghostbusters Afterlife. Yeah. So we are going to watch that.
Can't wait.
So your forfeit, Eamon, is to receive the same rope with ball on end, cut-out chair torture that Daniel Craig receives in Casino Royale.
Oh, man. Okay, so the last episode, your forfeit, based on the Many Saints of Newark,
yes,
was to steal an ice cream van.
Yeah, I did. This is what happened. Hello, I've stopped in a park where I spotted an ice cream van. The driver looks like quite a burly man. Fairly sure I won't be able to overpower him. I'm what's known in most circles as weak. So I'm just going to have to use my smarts instead. As we all know, ice cream people are famously territorial. So I fashioned myself a vanilla cone to look like one I might have bought from another van, and I'm going to try and trick the driver into thinking there's some competition nearby. Okay, I'm going to make my first pass now. Right, he didn't seem bothered at all. So I'm going to try again. Be a bit more obvious this time. Okay, here we go. Oh, this ice cream is delicious. No, nothing, just stared at his phone. Okay, I'll just try a much more direct approach. Here we go. Hello, mate. I got this from another ice cream van on the other side of the park. Huh? Yes, it's just past those trees over there, selling ice creams. Okay, he's off. I'm getting him. Right, got it. I'm in the van, and we are rolling. Woo! Yeah, this isn't as much fun as I thought it would be. It's really loud and pretty uncomfortable. I'm also quite scared about what might happen when the driver finds me. So I know the obvious thing to do would be to go and give a load of free ice creams to children. But I've decided to give them to the rich. So I'm going to head into the city to the Goldman Sachs office and dish out a load of whippy cones to investment bankers. I'm fairly sure he won't come looking for me there. Well, I feel pretty great after that. You should have seen the smiles on those bankers' faces. They were bright white, very straight teeth, very smooth skin. They just look better than most normal people. So yeah, it's been a great day. I've set fire to the van, and yeah, I'm gonna head home. So take care. So yeah, that went well, didn't it?
Did.
Well, that's it.
That's it.
Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, keep flushing. Bye.
Bye.